All I got is missed calls on my line, yeah, never.
What's up, guys? Welcome into the Missed Call Podcast. I'm your host, Colby Marshall, and alongside me is Mr. Ryan Sartori. Welcome into episode 147. Ugh.
You're
Getting old.
Yeah, we're getting up there in age. We're like tortoises at this point. 147 episodes of age. Lots to get into today. We've got a 90-year-old man talking all kinds of crap about another younger gentleman that comes up in college football talk. Also, Colorado is who we thought they were. Plus a whole lot of other stuff too. We'll commiserate about the Bears, and there's a new king in town. I'll save that for the end of the show.
Is that the Jordan Travis thing?
Hold on, just shut the. Don't try to solve things at the beginning of the show. Just be pleasantly surprised when we get to the end of the show. But
Ryan didn't tell me what the end segment will be, so I guess I'll be surprised.
End segment's going to be best segment. I do want to toot my own horn a little bit.
All right,
as we're getting into the
show.
It
and booty.
So I'm blessed in a situation where I'm able to do play-by-play for Beloit College in Beloit, Wisconsin. They let me do a bunch of their different home games I've done so far this year, women's soccer, men's soccer. And on Friday, I notched a new notch in my belt of play-by-play experience. I broadcast for the first time a volleyball match. And
spike, dig, dive, duck, dodge, dip.
I was told, because I know nothing about volleyball. I ask you, how much do you know about volleyball?
I know there's a libero.
Okay, cool. That's about how much I knew too, because I was like gung ho on like spike it, you know what I mean, and dig it, and yeah,
assist it.
I, over the course of a week, tried to become as knowledgeable on volleyball as I could. I talked to a gentleman who broadcasts volleyball for ESPN Plus, who told me if you say spike instead of attack or kill, you will instantly lose credibility with your audience. And I said, oh my God, my entire life, the only thing I've ever known to say about volleyball is bump it, spike it, any way you like it. Like, that's all I've ever known. So I had to like take that information and throw it away. And I researched, and like I felt really confident. And I go in and I call the first set. And it was a little clunky to start, and like figuring out where to mix in the stories and the conversation with the coach and stuff like that. And I get done with the first set, and I'm like, hell yeah, had some exciting moments in there. Beloit won their first set of the season. It was very cool. And then there was a parent that comes up. They had me like perched up top, like this little nest. It was a good vantage point. But
so they were listening to you.
Comes up to the booth, and they look at me and they go, "Hey, is there supposed to be audio of what you're doing?" I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "We can't hear." And it was at that point that I realized that the stream that I was broadcasting on was a little wonky. I had set it up incorrectly. And there was no volleyball to be broadcast that night because I set it up incorrectly. So my first actual volleyball broadcast will have to wait at least another 2 weeks when I have another opportunity.
Now, isn't it weird not knowing how to talk about a sport? Like, I think that's wild.
Yeah, it is, right? Because like I have on Wednesday a soccer game that I have to call, men's soccer game. And like, I can tell you like pass, cross, corner, what a shot. Like I could do like the basics, but I can't tell you when they're switching up styles. I can't tell you when they're switching up formations, or, you know, who's playing middle center back guy. I know who the keeper is. I know who the forwards are, but like it's a little uncomfy to sit there and talk about things you know nothing about, other than what's happening in front of you. Like I know that guy gave that guy the ball and he shot it, and that's about what I know.
Now, when I used to write for this website, they asked me if I wanted to write for the Red Stars, and I was like, I'm not going to say no. I was like, I don't know anything about soccer, but I'll give it a shot. Dude.
Right, which is what you have to do in this industry. Like, you have to keep saying yes to things.
Like, I was like, what do I say? Okay, Red Stars, and it was my first game I had to write about. It was a draw. What do I say?
Right.
Nothing
Well,
happened.
you
I was
have
like,
to
okay,
comment
I'll
on
just talk
like
about the goalie. The goalie.
right,
Yeah.
right. So it's like you got to comment on like the defensive strategies. You have to, comment on like the other team's use or lack thereof of the clock and time, and there's just so many different things. But it is like talking a different language. It's like if you go to broadcast a baseball game,
I don't know the lingo. That's the hardest part. Like
that's exactly it.
Say the things, but I don't know those things meanings in their words, if you know what I'm saying.
Bingo. So it's like my boss is a big soccer fan, and I was talking to him about it. I'm like, yeah, like I don't know much, but like I'm just going to keep it super basic. It's at the end of the day for parents, and like I don't know that I'm ever going to be broadcasting soccer at a professional level. So it's not something that I'm really super duper like.
What's your goal call?
It's very basic. I don't do the whole like long drawn out. Oh,
come on, and Colby Marshall with the shot, and it is
rips it on net. He scores. Like it's just one of those like. I'm not fucking freaking out. I'm not doing the whole thing because
I'm getting a new co-host. Fuck, this guy sucks.
What do you want me to do? I'm whiter than hell. Do you want me to be Golazo? But sucks. So the point that I'm trying to make is that when I'm talking about soccer, it's like, let's say I was going to sit down and do a baseball broadcast with the amount of knowledge that I have on soccer. If there was a double play that happened, I would say, oh, 2 people were out on that play. Knowing that I have very little knowledge about this game, I might end up saying something along the lines of like, oh, he's out and he's out. That's 2 people out on one play.
Double out.
I might not know to call it a double play.
Yeah.
Or like in football, instead of kicking the extra point, they go for 2. I might not know to call that a 2-point conversion. The same way that like I don't know when, this guy's not supposed to be there. Look at, he's doing something heroic. Like there's just times where I just don't know. And that's fine.
What? Obviously, basketball, football, baseball. What sport do you think you'll eventually get into? Like the new one?
I would love to do more wrestling broadcasts.
Like believe what your brother does or WWE?
Yes. No, like what my brother does, like actual like Greco-Roman or freestyle like type wrestling, because I think it's incredibly fun to broadcast. I got to do one meet 2 years ago. North Central College has a phenomenal men's and women's wrestling program. Their women's program might be better than their men's. And I got to do a men's wrestling like meet. It was 3 different teams that were there, and it was incredibly fun. It was so much fun because my partner had told me before we turned the mics on, he was like, hey, I don't know much about this. So like, if this is your thing, do your thing. And so I did. And dude, it was some of the most fun that I've had on a mic.
And there's the full Nelson, ladies and gentlemen, the most illegal move in wrestling.
Well, yeah, full Nelson, you can't do that, but you could do a half Nelson. I had a gym teacher when I was in grade school.
You ever do crossface? You ever crossface and break a nose?
That was when I was a kid. That was my specialty. I did break a nose once.
You cocked it back, didn't you?
Of course, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be mean.
You're not supposed to cock it back. That's illegal too. You're talking to somebody who was forced to wrestle for 8 years.
Forced because you played football, right? And then they were like, it goes hand in hand.
Oh my dude,
that's how I started in wrestling.
Third in state in high school. My dad. The thing is, I just played the sports my dad did because he loved them. But like, they wanted us to do. It wasn't like he's doing it to live through me type thing. It's like, hey, get the F out of the house.
Yeah, well, and wrestling's a really good like.
You're the most fit you'll ever be.
Most fit you'll ever be. It's also a very good character builder, I think, because like it's it's a one-on-one sport, and it's everything you are, right? Like it is a person manhandling another person at the end of the day, and like how good are you at manhandling this other person, dude? It's so much. Over the years, I've been to so many wrestling meets. I can't tell you how much like you wear a white singlet and you get, you had a bad night, Taco Bell.
That should be illegal.
White singlets should be illegal. White singlets should be illegal. Especially in that region. You see the two-tone, like it's fine to have the two-tone.
They're not loose. You're seeing the whole color of your boy.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't wipe properly, or if you're having a bad day on the toilet, it shows up like it. I mean, or if you get squeezed too hard and you have a shart, like it shows up. Boxers, dude, like it's a real thing. I've seen it, and like they clown that guy, but everybody knows I am one bad night away from being that fucking guy.
Yeah,
I think a sport that I want to get into. I think my answer is wrestling. Although this one set that I called a volleyball, I could really see myself getting into volleyball.
Yeah, for me, I told you I got into hockey. Dude, the problem is, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? It's hard to remember the players unless they're like the main guys.
Yeah,
the names are so hard.
Yeah.
The names are so hard.
So
like it's like if you had it's because you don't see their face and you can't see their numbers, even if they're ginormous. They're just zip.
Yeah. We have the Rockford Ice Hogs, the minor league affiliate of the Blackhawks, and I talk all the time with their play-by-play guy, Mike Folta, and I asked him because exactly what you said, like. Hockey names are extremely difficult. Like they're not all. What's the kid for the Hawks right now? Connor Bedard. They're not all Connor Bedard, Patrick Kane. Like those are easy names. Sidney Crosby, Ovechkin is even easy once you get it the first couple times.
The only easy one is Tanner Luzinski, and we know him.
I graduated with Tanner. He plays for the Flyers now, doesn't he?
Yeah, I played baseball with him growing up.
Did you?
Yeah.
I remember him missing a lot of school because he got drafted by the Chicago Steel. Anyway, he still got his diploma. Shout out to Tanner Luzinski.
Friend of the pod.
Jesus. What was I saying? Oh, Mike Folta, the play-by-play guy for the Ice Hogs, always says he has to sit down with a roster and really study the names before he's ready to go for a broadcast on any given night.
Yeah, but I think, if not saying hockey because I've already kind of got into it, I think soccer. I think I could totally get into soccer after the World Cup last year and Messi coming over.
I know that I can get into World Cup soccer. I'll buy into that fun.
It is.
I don't know that I can get into like regular ass MLS.
No, you got to have a premier team or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't know.
No one gives a crap about the MLS. No one cares about the MLS.
What's the Stephen A one? He's like, I got to tell you, we don't care.
I'm out.
Though I know somebody who's interested in every sport. My boss is humongous on the Philadelphia Union. He is a big time Philly Union fan for the MLS. So anyway, we should probably get into the meat and taters of this show, the stuff we know how to talk about, which is football, baseball, the good stuff. And we'll start, I think, college? Is that where you want to go?
Oh, please don't make me beg, please.
So
please don't make me beg, Ryan, please.
I won't make you beg. Biggest game of the week. Well, it was Ohio State, Notre Dame, Ryan Day versus Lou Holtz.
Notre Dame is a better football team than Ohio State.
Love hearing that. Please, Coach.
And let me tell you why. We have the best offensive line in the country. Sam Hartman won't even get his jersey dirty all year. He has time to throw the football. The offensive line, we have great running backs. Esteem is averaging about 10 yards a carry. We have great receivers. So offensively, we're set. Defensively, our defensive line's better. And you look at Coach Day, and I coached at Ohio State under Woody Hayes. We won the national championship when I was there.
That's right.
So I'm proud of that. However, he has lost to Alabama, Georgia,
right,
Clemson, right, Michigan twice, and everybody that beats him does so because they're more physical than Ohio State. And I think Notre Dame will take that same approach. I know that our schedule it hasn't been the best. We're 100.
Okay, so Lou Holtz. I was
Yes!
trying to. The equipment wouldn't let me. I whatever. Either way, Lou Holtz had some things to say.
Sammy Sprinkler is what they call me. Sammy Sprinkler.
Old ass 90-year-old Lou Holtz with the most
not
like
fully 90, but he's like 88. So
with the most like
90.
chest forward, boastful, just onslaught of Ryan Day. How do you feel about this?
I think we have opposite opinions, but
I think we do too.
Don't care. But I don't care because you're so wrong. You're so wrong if you're taking Ryan Day's side. Ryan Day, grow a pair, will you? Where's Lou? If you get on the thing, watch this. Where's Lou Holtz? Dude, you want to start beef with a 90-year-old man who is a legend at Notre Dame and who said all of that at the campus. At the campus. Yeah. What is Lou Holtz supposed to say? What do you want Lou Holtz to say? I think Notre Dame is going to lose today. I don't think you're going to matriculate the ball down the field because I used to coach at Ohio State. He's not going to say that. Lou Holtz.
Please wipe your mouth. Wipe your mouth before you keep going.
It was still dry. And I did I just did the fucking Trump hands. He is a legend. He is going to pander to the audience just like everybody does on game day. I know that wasn't game day, but still, what is he supposed to say? He's firing up a crowd because this is the best Notre Dame team they've had in years. This is the best quarterback they've had since Brady Quinn. Do you remember that tight spiral when we were in grade school?
And they still lost to the Buckeyes, which is a two-tone.
They covered the spread. I hate Notre Dame. This is the best Notre Dame team I've ever seen.
Here's the thing. I was just having this conversation with a friend last night. No matter what, and no matter the circumstance,
most likable Notre Dame team I've ever seen. Sorry.
No matter what, no matter the circumstance, it doesn't matter if I'm wrong. It doesn't matter if I'm right. It doesn't matter if there's empirical data to prove I'm wrong. I'm open-minded about most things. I will change my mind if shown I'm wrong. One thing I will never, ever, ever change my mind on is my undying, seething hatred for the University of Notre Dame. I don't care who it is. 90-year-old Lou Holtz, some baby that was just born in South Bend. I don't care. Your allegiance to that team is misled, is stupid, and that organization sucks.
You're led astray.
Led astray. Bamboozled. Yeah, no, but like, honestly, you are probably correct in that Lou Holtz has to lean that way. Like, he has to. It would be like if, years down the road, Saban shows up at Alabama and says LSU might beat Alabama that day. Like, I get what you're saying.
They have a statue. You cannot badmouth a team that has your freaking statue.
To double down on this point, I think you're right. I think you're correct. But also, fuck Notre Dame. It's fine.
The more I grow as a person, the more I realize the way I was raised as a sports fan is my dad's fault. So my dad is not a diehard anything. He's just a sports fan and just appreciates all sports. Like, he grew up a Cubs fan. He grew up a Bears fan. I have never seen my father wear an inch of athletic gear that had a team on it. I've never seen him wear Bears, Cubs, anything.
Good for him.
My mom, too. My mom I don't think my mom has ever owned anything Chicago sports team. She's had a race hat that was probably 12 years old that she recently thrown away because we went to the game for the first time in our lives in 2007. So
I just, again, I will never not hate Notre Dame.
That's fine.
Easy as that. And Ryan Day, like, definitely sounded like a bitch in the post-game press conference. Where's Lou Holtz at? Where is he? And then, there were probably more people than Lou Holtz talking crap about Ohio State because this is not a good Ohio State team. And again, you're right. This is probably one of the better Notre Dame teams that we've seen in the past 20 years. But at the end of the day, again, I will never, ever come off of this hill. I despise Notre Dame.
That's fine. But I'm glad you said this is a good team. As long as you can be unbiased and notice that, hey, this is a decent squad, that's all I care about.
Right. But still, fuck them.
I got to say one thing. The Golden Navy, I hate that. I hate them. It's so hot.
It is a good color combo.
It's such a great
It's one of the only schools that uses it. Because Cal is yellow. It's not gold.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's another school that uses the navy and gold.
Nobody, what's the word I'm looking for? Takes in the gold like Notre Dame. Like they took I forgot what the thing was. Like when they got those new helmets, they were like, we were trying to find the perfect gold for 15 years.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Nobody takes in the gold like the Notre Dame Irish. And I mean that in a bunch of
articulating the ball
ways.
up the field.
All right. On top of that, Colorado at Oregon, it ended up being exactly what we thought it was going to be. Now, remember, we have been this is our weekly Colorado football talk, and we'll probably do our weekly Colorado schedule talk in like 5 minutes. But this was an absolute beatdown by Oregon. This was crazy. Dan Lanning and his squad knew exactly what to do to Shedeur and the gang.
Now, was it not the most influential thing a coach has ever said pregame? They care about clicks. We care about winning. They're too busy, or whatever that line was. They're too busy worried about clicks. We're too busy worrying about winning. I almost jumped out the window because I was fired up.
The Cinderella story is over was a better line from that.
I didn't remember that one.
That's how he started it. The Cinderella story is over. These guys care about clicks. We care about winning. And then he gave the locker room this crazy look of like, yeah, guys understand what I'm saying.
I mean, I had trolls that were telling me that I was dumb for taking Nebraska a few weeks ago, and I kept my receipts, and I went to their Twitters. I just liked their tweets that were complaining about how Colorado was playing. Now I have a new friend.
Do you? From this?
Yeah, we're good. We're good now. Yeah.
Sweet. Good for you, man. Look at that. That is a true like gentleman's tale, right? Like, yeah, I fucking hate this guy. I talked shit with him one time, and then he talked shit back, and now I respect him, so we're friends.
Dude, I'm petty. You know, if I'm gonna be petty, I'll be petty. Oh, I had that in the back of my mind for weeks. I'm like, I can't wait for this team to freaking get exposed.
I have a friend from college. His name is Greg Williams. Shout out Greg Williams. Different Greg. And he is the king of receipts. So like has a binder of screenshots from like salty Bears fans, people talk negatively about the Cubs. Just like,
oh, this is great.
He has an endless supply. He's gotten me multiple times where like it'll be a Justin Fields tweet from like 2 years ago, and he'll go back and find it and then like it. Like I shit you not, on Sunday, I got a random like on Twitter. I was like, motherfucker, it's Greg Williams liking a tweet from 2 years ago, being like, remember when you said this? Remember right now?
Now this is, you're gonna love this. I don't think I've ever told anyone like on a podcast to where other people can listen. I've told people about it. In my room, I have a rival wall. It's very small. I have a rival wall. It's my motivational wall. I call it the rival wall.
Did you steal this idea from Tyler Witt?
No, okay. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Continue.
So I have screenshots of like jobs that I didn't get, and then their response, or like,
wait,
I was
hold on.
For a job.
I love this. I want you to restart it right now for the. I want you to restart the sentence right now. This sentiment right now for the promo for later.
Oh, okay. I have a motivational wall.
You have a what?
Very motivational wall.
Yeah.
It is. I have a motivational wall. It's 2 screenshots of a job I didn't get and another job I asked Athletes Unlimited their vice president or whatever his name is, one of the two co-owners of Athletes Unlimited. I messaged him on LinkedIn, and he's the one that started this. I asked him for a job, like, hey, I very much love your league. I'm looking for a job. I'm desperate. I want to work in sports. This MF responds. It's a long message to him. He responds back, thanks, Colby. Just thanks.
So
just thanks.
Before we dive into that, your motivational
If I
wall,
ever see him face to face, I might cock him in the jaw with that piece of paper.
Before we dive much further into this, your motivational wall, just so that I'm on the same page as you, is 2 screenshots of jobs you didn't get.
You got to make up motivation somehow, right?
That is the most ADD brain shit I've ever fucking heard in my life. I dig it.
No, and the other one is, sorry you didn't get the job. And I said, why didn't I get the job? Like, just tell me. I need to improve. It was to intern for 24/7 Sports. I said, why didn't I get the job? You literally had me do freelancing after you interviewed me, and you posted it. Why didn't I get the job?
It's
answer.
It's part of the job market today is that you don't get that sort of feedback, and then you never know why. And sometimes it's just literally because you're not that guy, pal. But Shedeur Sanders, 159 yards, 1 touchdown, was sacked 7 times. Again, Dan Lanning, for those who don't remember, Dan Lanning, the defensive coordinator for Georgia over the past couple of years, is now the head coach at Oregon. And I mean, he had the perfect plan to stop Colorado. They only put up 6 points, and it was garbage time points.
We said this was coming. We don't really need to dwell on it.
Opposite side of the football, Bo Nix, Heisman. He's trending there.
Future Bear.
Dude, yeah, I forgot. I forgot your tweet from last week. Never mind. Set my expectations lower. If he's going to be on the Bears, he can't have college achievement.
He's really good at home.
Very good at home and very good at being in college football for a really long time. You were upset about some specific tweets, though, from Colorado by one ESPN pundit.
Oh, my God. I forgot. That was what I meant to write down. Dude. Stop.
Josina Anderson, right?
That whatever her name is. This woman tweeted out. It was the quote to that coach's thing. She's like, oh, well, he wouldn't be saying this if Travis Hunter was playing. What?
I think to encapsulate what you are trying to get at here is that Josina Anderson.
It's ignorance.
Well, it's ignorance, but she also has this blind. I hate, and I think you probably feel the same way, believing in something for the sake of believing in something. You know what I mean? Without there being, and in sports, without there being that like set, there being some evidence to believe in that thing. She just wants to believe in it for the sake of believing in it. And they've had 3 really great games here to start the season. But it's that believing in something for the sake of believing in it, while also trying to instigate some sort of, white versus black thing that doesn't really exist. I think everybody likes Deion Sanders. There are some old crotchety men who I'm sure don't like the swagger that Deion brings to the field. We've already seen it. Some people commenting on his wearing of sunglasses and hats on the sidelines and stuff. But it feels like she's kind of stuck in an echo chamber with her Twitter of like she sees a lot of like white people attacking black people on her side of Twitter or something, or she's just poking at that thing. And it was like, well, this is, I'm not even as worked up about it as you are. You sent the tweets. You have the examples. I didn't commit any to memory. I'm just only trying to help facilitate your thought.
It sounds like to add on to what you said, it sounds like, when your team is not going to win, there's like not enough time left. They're mathematically impossible. They're not going to win type thing, but it's only if you say it's 10 points and there's a minute left in the game, you're not winning that game. And then you have that one person that's just like, come on, guys,
we can do it
for the team. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like, get your head out of your ass. This team is good. It is so good for what they were last year. They are so good to be what they are. They should not be 3-0 or come into that game 3-0.
Storylines are important.
You should also not think that one player is worth that many points. I'm so sorry. A 23-point underdog, that one person is not worth 23 points.
Yeah,
one person is not worth your blowout.
I don't know how much EPA Travis Hunter throws in there. Like, how many points does he add or subtract away?
Ignorance. And then to top it off, she tweets out this thing of Elmo dancing, and it's like, Deion Sanders haters right now. No, these are the people who have been saying for weeks that they are going to crumble because the Pac-12 is awesome. I cannot emphasize this enough. I think Deion Sanders is going to change the game of college football if he sticks around. I don't know what his future plans are. If I had a kid that was going to go play Division I football, I would love for him to be playing for Deion, because Deion is setting an example for a lot of young men that might not have had lives that I can't imagine having, and he's going to change them for the better and improve
Elevate
so
them.
much.
Yeah, he is.
He's going to lift these kids up.
He knows where these kids are coming from, right? He's said it in interviews. He knows where his kids are coming from. He knows where his players are coming from, and he wants to be a positive impact on those kids' lives. And he says that also has an impact on their ability to play the game of football the way that it needs to be played. So I don't know. I don't want to get too far down the side, alley talking about it.
It's not a thing if you don't make it a thing.
Right.
It's not a thing.
You can't, it doesn't have power unless you give it power. So Josina Anderson trying to give that thing
and it's the hate
power.
Word. It's the hate word. I
don't know
that hate is such a overly used word because it's just so much easier to say. But saying you hate something, like, I've grown to understand that saying you hate something is very, very, very strong.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy to hate.
Like it does. And to say you hate Deion Sanders or the Colorado football team, you're a clown. You just hate the storyline. You hate hearing about it so much because it's ESPN and they just beat horses to death and then some.
Are going to have a little fun with a brand new segment that we're bringing to the show.
Great segue, because we're getting some laughs.
We have something that we've created called the 1 point rundown. Created in parentheses because I'm dragging this over from an old show. It's a lot of fun. We are going to cover every NFL game here in just the next couple of minutes using just 1 point to cover each game. And Cub, if you don't mind, I'll kick it off. Rapid fire. You ready to go?
Go ahead.
All right. All right, here we go. Denver at Miami. Dolphins, if you didn't know, are the only species that have sex for fun, but who knew that dolphins could fuck horses? Denver 20, Miami 70.
Yikes. The Red Rocket wasn't big enough. Panthers 27, Seahawks 37.
Doesn't matter if Joshua Dobbs doesn't have any hair on him. The guy has balls. Dallas 16, Arizona 28. Also, Ken Griffey Jr. was there taking pictures professionally.
Love Ken Griffey Jr. Homeless Baker Mayfield and the Colts upset the Ravens 22-19.
Just call Gardner Minshew homeless Baker Mayfield.
That's a stolen joke. That's I can't think of his name right now. Continue. Sorry.
Thank you for citing your sources.
I stole that.
New England at the Jets. The Jets' current situation sounds like the next awful action movie. The captain is dead. The plane is hurtling towards Earth, and two random white dudes think they can save the day. Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz have reached out to try to help this team get to the finish line. New England 15, Jets 10.
That was a long one. That's some big brain stuff right there, Ryan. This is some small brain, low hanging fruit right here. Lizzo's boyfriend and friends stay winless. Chargers 28, Vikings 24. Oh.
Texas at Jacksonville. This game was just a taste of what we'll get when the 4-8 Texans meet the 3-9 Jaguars to play for first place in the AFC South come week 12. Texas 37, Jacksonville 17.
Jordan, all you need is love. Cue the Beatles is shocks the nation.
All you need is love. Are you done?
No. Jordan.
All you need is love.
All you need is love. Shocks the nation at home. Packers 18. Who they play? Oh, Saints 17. Sorry, I forgot to write that down.
Buffalo and Washington. I have a question. Once he's replaced, how soon will we forget Sam Howell?
Oh, very quickly. I stoopingly, I think he's Sam Hartman every time I talk about him.
Buffalo 37, Washington 3.
The Dirty Birds didn't have enough mustard to pull off the win in the Big D. Atlanta 6, Lions 20.
From Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh and Vegas. You know, Cub, my birthday is this week, and it got me thinking. I'm old enough to remember when Najee Harris and Josh Jacobs were good. Pittsburgh 23, Vegas 18.
That was pretty good. Now this last one. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Yeah.
Who knew that all you needed was 2 points and 25 allegations to win a football game? Browns 27, Titans 3.
Yeah, really. I mean, honestly, Deshaun Watson had his best game as a Brown, and subsequently, it also equaled 1 point for every sexual assault allegation that he had over the offseason. Finally, Giants in San Francisco is the never a doubt game of the week. How do you beat San Francisco? Final score, Giants 12, San Francisco 30. I don't know that you could beat them. How do you beat San Francisco? I'm asking.
Since we're already jumping into football talk, and that was it. Great segment. I think that was good for a first try.
I do too.
But I would like to dive into 49ers talk since you tossed it. I think it is absolutely mind-boggling the hate that Brock Purdy gets, just because he gets so much hate. Like, sure, you could probably put any quarterback in that system, but it's so sexy. It has to be the sexiest offense in football. The motions, I get a little motion below the ocean when that shit goes down.
Brock Purdy is just a dude. And Brock Purdy's success awesome and the coolness, I guess, coolness around Brock Purdy was last year when he won, 7 games in a row to go to the postseason, win a couple of postseason games. Like, that was when Brock Purdy's cool. Now he's back and still successful, and people are pissed off about it because that's what we do as Americans. We love an underdog story, and as soon as you are no longer the underdog and you are either just there or on top, they want to see you fall. So Brock Purdy's in the situation right now where people are rooting for him to fail. Let's take inventory for a second. This is the final guy drafted in the draft out of Iowa State.
Yeah.
This dude, by all means, should not be in the position that he's in, but he's worked hard and he's gotten to where he is. And now he's playing really great football. There is something to be said about that. We should feel good about that for Brock Purdy. But you're right. I even got a text Thursday night when they were playing. Buddy of mine was like, hey, hear me out. Brock Purdy's not good. And I said, he might not be, but Brock Purdy doesn't have to be good. He's also not bad.
Who cares?
He just has to facilitate that offense and be better and cheaper than Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's doing both of those things. This was a Bears fan.
Yeah.
This was a Bears fan.
They don't know what a good quarterback is until the quarterback's bad. Justin Fields, bad. Burn.
That's a good transition to Bears, where the only
that was the plan.
Only thing I want to say about this is that I just got a notification on my phone. Travis Kelce jerseys are up 400% at NFL.com. The Swifties are coming. The Swifties are coming for the Travis Kelce jerseys.
I have something to say.
Okay.
I'm on the bandwagon.
And the Swiftie bandwagon, or the what do you mean?
I take back my takes from last week. I'm on the bandwagon.
Wait, what bandwagon?
Travis Taylor Swift
bandwagon. It's kind of cool, right?
It's kind of cool. I kind of hate that I hated it.
I kind of hate that you hated it too, because it is cool.
It's such a PR stunt. I hate it so much, but I also love her music.
Yeah, but the PR stunt 10 years ago was Jay-Z and Beyonce, and they're still together and have 2 or 3 kids now. What?
Oh, it was trying to connect to my phone because I was going to read you this Venn diagram that I found on Twitter.
Oh, please don't read me a Venn diagram.
No. It's funny. I promise.
Oh my God. How many circles are there?
There's 4.
What the fuck? No fucking shot. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
Can I just read you the outside 4?
Damn it. Go ahead.
It's Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and BYU. In the middle is this soaking in Kansas City.
Now, if you haven't seen that Venn diagram and you don't know who half of those things are,
it's on my Instagram.
Go look at Cubs' Instagram, because he is trying to describe a visual thing on an auditory experience. Honest to God, though.
In Kansas City.
Honest to God, though, like, I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan. I'm not a huge fan of her music, but like, it is cool. If this is the access point for her, if this is the access point for her fans to football, great. I want more people to like football because football is awesome. The other side of this, there's nothing to say about the Chiefs. The Chiefs had a phenomenal game. This is their get right game. Their offense is going to soar from here on out. On the other side of this, we might be at the lowest point ever in the Chicago Bears history. I'm trying to think if there was some sort of massive scandal that impacted the organization.
Hell of a drug, but you're right.
But I don't know that there is a time that has been lower than it is right now. In the past calendar week, not even a full 7 days, from Wednesday of last week to right now at 5:48 on Monday the 25th, Justin Fields blamed not his coaches, but coaching as the biggest issue in his progression as a quarterback. There's a difference between saying the coaches are the issue and the coaching is the issue. Also, their defensive coordinator, Alan Williams, vanished and is now has resigned from the team and his role with the team for what is allegedly and apparently a personal issue that the Bears HR instigated and said, you've got to go away. This is too bad. This is too whatever it is. We don't know, but it's apparently a personal thing Alan Williams did, and Human Resources had to step in to say he has to go. On top of that, their left tackle has a neck injury and could be gone for the entire year, is currently gone for the next 3 games. And they lost $100,000 worth of equipment from their stadium, and they lost by 31 points. It doesn't get lower than this. And the entire broadcast, hold on, one more thing. The entire broadcast, Burkhardt and Olsen, the former Bear, who of course is a scorned former Bear, having been traded to Carolina, were just joking about how absolutely atrocious this franchise is. It doesn't get worse than this. They didn't even make fun of the Browns that they make fun of the Bears right now. It doesn't get lower than this. End rant.
I love comedy. I love watching comedians do their thing. It's art. I have never laughed harder in my life by a comedian the way that the Bears make me laugh on Sunday. They are the funniest thing to hit the TV since Don Rickles. They are freaking hilarious. Also, they have the worst point differential, and the Broncos lost by 1,000 yesterday.
The only thing saving the Bears from being the conversation around national media today is the Broncos, who allowed 70 points. Do you know?
Somebody in the office today goes, when do you think the Bears will ever score 70? I said never.
Never. They have the funniest thing is the Bears franchise holds the record for most points scored in a game with 73 back in 1940. That's going to be beautiful when it pops up on fucking Audition later.
That doesn't count. Now, they were getting booed on the road by their own fans.
Yeah, because they're bad.
I think that sums up the whole topic.
You can't, there's not even a thing you can pick out of this and be like, at least that was good. There's nothing to take from it. Defensively, offensively, coaching, special teams. There's nothing there. It's a barren wasteland.
Do you want to hear something hysterical?
Go ahead.
I was at a bar yesterday for the game. When they got their first touchdown, people cheered. Also, when they kicked that field goal, I was pissing my pants. I was urinating from laughter.
Justin Fields got knocked the actual fuck out. Justin Fields
and they brought him back.
Consciousness. I mean, it wasn't like I was talking to a buddy who's a medical professional last night. I was like, yeah, like he got like punched in the jaw, knocked out, not like concussion knocked out. He goes, no, there's not a difference. That is a concussive episode. No matter if you get hit on the jaw or on the forehead, it's the same knocked out. And then he was back just 5 minutes later. So it's like, we're fucked.
He had 39 yards until that last drive.
I know I'm worked up about it right now. I know that like I'm excited about it. And, it's to some extent performative for the podcast. I've never been more detached from this team than I am right now. Like I could call my girlfriend Nikki in here right now. I had one moment yesterday of like 15 seconds where I was like, what's going on? Why are we doing it this way? Like it was 15 seconds and the rest was just laughter and acceptance and just being like, this is my father birthed me into this. It's like having some sort of crazy, uncurable inherited thing that you can't get rid of. Except you can't, like we can just say, I'm no longer a fan of this team and release ourselves of this burden. But none of us will.
I've been debating it.
None of us will release ourselves from this madness. We just keep going year after year and week after week and like minute after minute. None of us will release ourselves. I could go be a Dolphins fan. I could go be a Niners fan. You could be a Chiefs fan, but we choose every week.
Ever since 2018, I've been a fan of the Chiefs.
We choose to sit down every week and watch the dumb, stupid, terrible Bears. I'm tired of it.
I mean, what have they done for us? Nothing. I think it's hilarious that this franchise literally their whole thing is. Remember we did that thing in the 80s? Remember?
Yes.
They're the member berries of South Park. They're the member berries.
That's all they do.
Remember?
That's all they do. And that was almost 40 years ago. It was 38 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired. I'm tired of bad football. I'm tired of watching every other team make it look like football and then us get out there and make it look like men's slow pitch softball being played in a massive NFL stadium or cricket or some foreign fucking thing that's never even been invented. That's what it's like watching the Bears every single week.
Do you think anyone gets fired this season?
No. After this season?
No.
Or during this season?
At the end. The McCaskies are too prideful and they think it hurts their image as if their image isn't already ruined. They won't do it because that's the problem with being owned by a family.
The McCaskies have been and will continue to be so massively out of touch on what their fans want. And you would think McCaskey's job was ticketing. The guy's job was interacting with season ticket holders. So you would think George McCaskey, the chairman of the Bears, would have some sort of finger on the pulse on what Bears fans want. Do I think that people are? Do I think
what they want?
Do I think that people are going to be fired after this year? No. Do I want people to get fired after this year? Yes.
I want Poles gone.
I was reading a tweet.
Poles gone.
I was reading a tweet that made so much sense, Colby. When the Dolphins drafted Tua, he was absolutely terrible. And they recognized after 2 years that he was terrible. And they had made far too big of an investment and wasted far too much time. And they scorched the earth. They got a new general manager. They got a new head coach. They got a new offensive coordinator. By the way, a head coach that the Bears didn't even think about interviewing in the process of hiring Matt Stupid Eberflus.
Yeah.
They scorched the earth.
Defensive Mark Trestman.
Tua Tagovailoa is an MVP candidate today in the year 2023. He turned it around. He led a team to a 70-point victory. I need them. I want them. I crave for them to scorch the earth, Colby. Everybody, except for Kevin Warren, and just line everything up. Here's a GM. Here's a coach. Here's a new quarterback. Get it figured the fuck out.
Yeah, they have to go. I'm done with polls. Eberflus has never been the guy.
Never. He doesn't have that thing.
He didn't even feel like the guy when they got him. I was like, that name sucks. He can't be our guy.
Anyway.
That's exactly what my thought was. His name sucks.
His name does suck. I don't know who said this. It might have been the Lebitard show I was watching, where somebody was like, Bill Belichick, Mike Tomlin. These names of like prominent coaches, right? Matt Eberflus. Say it again. Matt Eberflus.
No one knows how to say his name either. That's the problem.
Eberflus.
Eberflus.
Anyway, Usher's hosting halftime for Super Bowl 58, so that's cool.
Who the hell cares? Continue. Go get me to baseball talk. I'm
baseball time. It's baseball time. It's baseball time. And the Evil Empire has been eliminated from the playoffs. So I ask you, sir, from one awful coaching regime to the next, what should happen to Aaron Boone? For people, okay, so yeah, I was gonna say for people just listening.
I'm waving goodbye. I know how Yankees fans feel because I work with one who's from Jersey and hates PC. His thing is, if Aaron Boone never hit that home run, he'd be serving up hamburgers at McDonald's.
He's not wrong.
He's the only thing Aaron Boone is good at is having his guys' backs, and that's my favorite thing about him because it's the best thing he has. He will go to war for his guys. He loves his guys, but Buddy sucks.
He's not very good.
Sucks.
He's not very good. But I also there's a part of it too where like I don't know that they've supplied him with the best options over his time as the manager of the Yankees. There was 2 years where like they probably should have won one of the 2 years, but like I think that there have been some years where the pitching staffs haven't been there for him, either starting.
The pitching staff
or
has never
bullpen.
been there. I will give him that. I will give him that. It has never been there.
Which is how you win.
I say it every year. They're going to lose because they're not going to do anything because the pitching staff sucks. And they've always had a great bullpen till this year. Then everyone got hurt. I will give it to them that the whole team has been injured. The whole team. Top to bottom, they brought in a bunch of guys that I don't even know their names because I stopped watching because I don't care because they suck. And like if Aaron Judge is injured, there's no reason to watch.
Where do the Yankees go? Like I'm curious, just because you are a Yankees fan. For those who don't know,
it's a rebuild.
It's a total teardown.
I'm a Yankees fan. what else you have to build around Judge because that's your biggest investment. There's only a few years left. You got to make a quick. You got to. The Yankees can do a lot. They have money. They spend.
Where do you go? Jason, is it Jason Dominguez?
Yes.
Dominguez has an ACL tear or a UCL tear.
UCL. And that sucks because you're not going to get him back till next
Volpe
fall.
Has a ton of room to grow, but hasn't been phenomenal this year. You start to work your way around the diamond, and it's like you don't have an answer at catcher. I don't know that they have one in the minors. Higashioka's not.
They brought up Wells. They brought up Wells. He just hit a pisser today. He hit a freaking missile.
Now do that a couple more times and we'll talk. But like they've got so much money wrapped up in Rodon, in Cole, in Judge, are they paying Chapman money still?
I don't know.
There's just so much gone. That like I don't know where you start.
I mean, they have a lot of young guys that they can bring up. They got like Peraza. Why can't I think of the other names? Volpe, like you said, Volpe's good. Volpe's had the best rookie season we've seen since Judge.
Yeah, he has a lot of room to grow. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's got a lot of room to grow.
Yeah. And you want him to make those mistakes his rookie season if you're giving him the starting job the whole year. The worst thing they could have done is brought him down. There were talks about that. They were going to bring him down because he was playing bad. This team's going nowhere. Why would you bring him down?
Looking through the top 10 prospects for the Yankees, Spencer Jones will be ready in 25. Dominguez, is it Everson Pereira? I don't know.
I have no.
Zach's brother, Chase Hampton. Oh no, it's Zach Hampel. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you trying to say Zach Hampel?
Chase Hampton, Drew Thorpe, George Lombardi, Roderick Arias, like guys I've not heard of. Austin Wells, Trey Sweeney, Will Warren.
Can I just say those are some great names?
Will Warren's a good one.
The Lombardi one? There's always an Italian. I love that. There's always an Italian.
Speaking of Italians, Ronald Acuna Jr. is
everyone's favorite Italian.
Having one of the best statistical seasons ever. He is the first player since 2006 with a 40-40 campaign, 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases. The last guy to do it was Alfonso Soriano. And again, he's the 5th player ever to do it. He's the first player with a 40-60 season and is 2 stolen bases away with 6 games left in the year to become the first 40-70 performer ever. On top of that, he's slashing .336, leading the league in on-base percentage at 415, which means that he is getting on base 41% of the time and slugging nearly 600 for an OPS that leads the league at 1010. I'm throwing numbers your way. Baseball fans are going to understand this. His OPS
I know what these mean.
I'm just saying to the listener, I'm throwing numbers at you. You might not get all of them, but they're for somebody out there. OPS plus 167 leads the MLB this year, which means he's 67% better than the average MLB hitter. He's got 143 runs scored, the 40 homers, and he leads the league in hits as well with 210. Getting 200 hits in a season is really hard. Yeah. I think Jeter did it once.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Because I feel like this is the layup question. Is this a product of 2 things? The bases being bigger. I mean, we all love size. Two, is it because the shift is gone?
No, because the shift isn't gone. It's just restricted. The shift is still there. You still see shortstops lining up just to the left of second base, right? Like they're right there. And as soon as the ball is put in play, they can move that way. So it's like the shift isn't gone. It's helped. It's massaged offenses, but Acuna's a right-handed hitter. So the shift has never really affected him.
Yeah.
And he's always been a great power hitter. the bigger bases has definitely massaged that stolen base number for him this year. But
which is amazing for baseball. Which is amazing.
It's been important.
That's the best part.
Yes.
What's the rookie for the Athletics? The Perez or the quick guy?
Esteury Ruiz?
Yes, Esteury Ruiz. That dude, electric on the base path.
Yeah.
Thank you, baseball, for giving me this.
It gives, I said this when they went to make the changes, it gives the game an extra dimension, right? That has been gone for some time. You think about
20 years.
You think about the action plays, the highlight plays from baseball. What are they? Web gems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Home runs.
That's it.
Full stop.
It takes away
a big strikeout, maybe.
It takes out the double play. It's awesome. Like, oh, I'm at second now. Have fun getting a double play.
In a league where we've seen things over the past 8 years to the past decade, in the league where we've seen the three true outcomes and double play balls becoming more prominent and all of that, this has been a really, really great way to massage offense. On the other hand, if you want to talk about the rule changes really quick and places where I think that they can improve, I think that the pitch clock has been something that has been great for the pace of play, but has not been great for pitchers' elbows. They are working at a much higher intensity. You would say like, oh, well, they would still throw those pitches regardless. Like, how does the clock mean anything? Well, yes, they would still throw those pitches regardless. But like, if you've ever been to the gym, you know that working under a higher intensity rate makes it harder for your muscles to keep up, right? Like if you are going, 10 reps, 20 seconds of rest, 10 reps, 20 seconds of rest, 10 reps, you know that in the middle of that second set, you are going, what the fuck is happening right now? Versus if you go 10, 2 minutes, 10, 2 minutes, you are able to handle that a little bit better. Same thing, like ligaments and the muscles and everything that work through your elbow. There have been a lot of really prominent ACL or UCL injuries this year. And I think there has to be some sort of ground given there. Maybe there's more pitchers allowed on a team. Maybe the correction is that you see MLB teams go with a 6-man staff starting next year and start dabbling in that. I think that the pitch clock is a net good, but you have to look out for the safety of those pitchers because at the end of the day, they put butts in seats just as much as somebody else. You always are talking about, well, who's the pitching matchup when we're going to the game? They still put butts in seats. But everything else has been phenomenal. The restriction of the shift, the stolen bases. I'd love to have a longer conversation about this because the bigger bases, I think, have been the best change to baseball this year.
This has been probably the best baseball season I've ever watched.
This is
the most baseball I've ever watched. Like, I don't like last year or 2 years ago, that one White Sox game that was like 9 hours. The playoff game.
It was a playoff game, and I was in attendance. And I love baseball. That was too much baseball.
I had to cover it. I'm like, I have things to do. Like, I wasn't getting paid for this writing job. I'm like, I have things to do.
Yeah.
It was unbelievably like, I know playoff baseball is longer, and playoff baseball is electric, but for God's sakes, what the hell was that?
Yeah. Well, and the pitch clock rules and stuff are going to continue into the postseason, which again I think is a net good.
Yeah.
I've always said that the ghost runner on second thing should probably not be a thing in the postseason.
I don't like it. I don't like it in the postseason. I love it during the regular season because there's too many regular season games. That's true.
And like over the course of 162, you can figure out who's good and who's not with the use of the runner on second. Come playoff time, when there's typically a lot of extra inning games, like having that free runner on base is a humongous momentum swing at times.
Yeah, because if you score first, who's got the momentum? It's just
Yeah.
I don't like it because I get the regular season and I get what you're saying. I too don't like that because it's the extra innings aren't so extra. I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to go to the 14th inning. It's not going to go to the 12th usually. I would like to look up how many innings it really goes. Like the
on average, it's done
like
in the 10th. On average, it's done by the 11th inning. Like it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. That's
works.
exactly what you need, right? Like it would be fucking crazy if we let every NFL game go to 8 overtimes. No, at a certain point, just end in a tie for safety purposes.
Yeah.
Same thing with MLB, right? It's like, I'm sure there are people who miss those long marathon 22 inning games that are, hilarious. And you do,
people forget people have to work those games.
Yeah, but exactly. People have to work those games and it's not good for player safety. So like eliminating that is good. I just wish that you get a more true sense of winning and losing in the playoffs. And so I wish that they would get rid of that, but otherwise everything else is great. I mean, the changes that they made, I was all for. I thought it would be a great change to baseball, and here we are, 156 games later, and it works. There's a couple of things they need to tweak, but it works. And Ronald Acuna is proof of it, right? Like he is able to showcase all 5 of his tools. And the 2 real good ones or 3 real good ones that he has on the offensive side, because of these rules, he's able to contact, he's able to power, and he's able to freaking run like better than anybody else this year. He's got 68 stolen bases. That's a lot of stolen bases. And you always talk to what's the record that'll never be broken in Major League Baseball?
Yeah.
Ricky Henderson. What did he steal that year? I'm looking it up. I always forget.
Oh, Esturio. What's his name again from the Athletic?
Estuary
Ruiz.
Ruiz. It's a tough one.
He was last game I was watching. It was like 4 or 5 days ago. He was like 6 or 7. He was like 8 stolen bases away from the rookie record. He stole 2 while they were talking about it.
Really?
It was awesome. Yeah.
Ricky Henderson stole 130 bases in 1982. And that's still a lot of bases, but like it's not outside. It's actually almost double what Ronald Acuna stole this year. But like it's still not outside of the realm of possibility that if you get if
I get to live to see 100 stolen bases, I'm set.
It would be great. It'd be very cool. Anyway, I want to wrap up with one final story about Jordan Travis, the quarterback for Florida State this year, has self-proclaimed himself the Tiger King and is selling T-shirts because of it. Because Jordan Travis this year has beaten LSU and Clemson, both of the big Tiger schools in the United States and in college football. And who was there to comment on it? Joe Exotic, who posted from prison somehow saying, Jordan Travis was 6 years old when I became the Tiger King. It is my trademark, my intellectual property, and I'm sick of others cashing in on my trademark just because President Biden cares nothing about being wrongfully in prison in America. I will give any attorney 80% of a settlement to sue Jordan Travis and all companies selling stuff using Tiger King. Time quarterbacks and anyone else in this country stop stealing from others. Which attorney would like to take this multi-million-dollar case? Please DM me. And then he says, President Trump, you see the shit your swamp did to my life with the corrupt DOJ you ran? The evidence is there. They all admit to the perjury and a plot to kill me, and they all walk free. Biden should make this right again and support the Free Joe Exotic movement until Jordan Travis walks in a cage with 20 full-grown tigers and kisses them on the head. Leave the Tiger King business to me. Holy shit. All of this from prison.
I don't have any takes.
I don't either, but it felt right to share with you. And
yeah, it did.
Fucking Godspeed prayers to Jordan Travis. He doesn't end up in a cage with 20 full-grown tigers. If you see me in a cage with 20 full-grown tigers, help me. Don't help the tigers. The old Colby or whatever. He's like, if you see me in a fight with a bear in the woods, help the bear or whoever the fuck.
Help the bear. Yeah, it was help the bear. What's the woman's name?
Carol Baskin.
Carol freaking Baskin.
You can't say it without doing the accent.
Carol Baskin. Now, if Carol Baskin endorses these shirts, I'm in.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Hey, all you cool cats. Do you remember when we were talking about that doc during the pandemic? That was awesome.
I do. That was Big Brain Book Club before we even called it that.
Yeah, that was just a couple guys talking about a couple of docs. That was the summer of docs.
It was the summer of docs. They had a lot of docs. They unloaded the docs. We got a whole lot of doc picks that year.
Back them up.
Back them up. Give me the docs. All right, wrap it up.
And that'll be episode 147 of the Missed Call Podcast. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube at Call Podcast. See you guys. Love you guys. I think I just hit the mic. So if you heard a scratch, that was me.
All I got is missed calls on my line. Yeah, never.